Hey y'all, I got good news. Today we get to talk about love, and that's my favorite topic. Let's talk about it. As I was just filming, the song came to mind. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Isn't that the truth? But what is love? Today, I want to share with you what I think love is, just from my heart. I just want to be really vulnerable with you. And I know it's different for every person. I know that the Bible talks about love, but I'm not going to pull up scriptures. I just want to be really vulnerable and share how I see love. So if I could describe love in one word, I would call it abandoned surrender. I love that word. Love, yeah. The initiation of love is transparency. If there's no transparency, if I'm not standing before someone as just absolutely myself, with no masks, no covers, no lies, if I'm not being transparent, I can't experience love. And I can't give love. Transparency is so important. Next would be humility. When I'm loving somebody, I have to come in all humility and respect, which is the next one. I have to respect the person in their their uniqueness. And then, here's one, tenderness. Tenderness. A lot of people call that empathy. But it's just being tender to feel somebody else and for them to feel you in your feelings, to feel like you're connecting in the feelings, not enmeshment. We are both two individual people respecting one another in that uniqueness, and yet we're very tender to one another. And the last one is union. I love that word. That is just so beautiful to me when people come in this way and are transparent before one another, and they're humble before one another, and they're respecting one another, and they're tender to one another. There's a union that takes place, and that is what I call love. Now, that love I experience in every single aspect and dimension of my life. I don't look at love like for my brother and for my neighbor or for Yahweh any differently. It's all the same thing for me in those respects, and it goes over into every level of my life, this beautiful love. And love is our portal into paradise. Yes, that abandoned surrender. Wow. Whether it's with Yahweh, our creator, or whether it's with our neighbor, our family, our husband, or our wife, if we have one. I don't have one. So I've not really experienced that level of this abandoned surrender. But all of you that are married, I encourage you to do so. That's a beautiful thing. Marriage is an expression of Yahweh's love for us. That marriage feast that's coming up, we're going to experience even deeper levels on a spiritual plane than a husband and a wife are experiencing now. But that is the foreshadow of that relationship. So beautiful. Now, I do want to mention, this is how I'm seeing it, is that, and I want to confess, that when I was born into this world, I did not have the capacity for love, and I had no love. I was handicapped. And I think every single one of us comes into the world in that way, because we were born into a race that did something, entered into mutiny against Yahweh, and in so doing, they died. to this capacity. And so there's only one way that we can get that back. Now, if I have an empty refrigerator and I'm hungry, I'm going to have to go out to my garden to get food, or to another farm, or to the store, because that's where there are groceries to be able to eat. And in the same way, I didn't have love and I didn't know how to love. And so I needed to go to the store to get love. And there's only one store to get love, and that is love himself, our creator. So to begin to know love and begin to experience this portal into paradise, the only way to do that is to abandonedly surrender into our creator. And he provided that portal through his death. So we abandonedly surrender into his co-death, co-burial, and co-resurrection with us. Ah, wow, what a portal into paradise that is. And once we are filled to overflowing with that portal of love, or portal of paradise, oh wow, that love just flows through our entire being. It's the river of living water. Wow, that's so beautiful. And then we are conduit, and that love, that paradise love, flows out from us and overflows into all our relationships with someone we just met, with our neighbor, with our family, with the body, with his body, which is the bride, and even more intimately then with our partner. When two individuals come together in that covenant union as one, and they are abandonedly surrendered into their creator themselves, then they come together. Wow. And the three are one, flowing together. Beautiful, beautiful intimacy. I bless every single one of you that are married to experience that beauty, to cultivate it, because that is his foreshadow of heaven. I wanted to talk for a minute, though, about the bride, his body here on earth, and the love that we flow in that union to one another. Because we are all different parts of that body. I know that is one reference I'll make to scripture, is that, the scriptures talk about that. We're not all the same, just like my face right here. I have one chin, and I have two eyes, and I have a nose, and I really need all of the parts of my body. And he made us that way. He made us as a body, and each of us has our own unique gifting. And, if my eye said to my chin, hey, I don't like the way you're seeing that right now. And my chin's going, but I can't see, I'm not an eye. and the eye says to my chin, hey, if you don't turn into an eye in the next 5 minutes, I want you out of here by noon. Wow, that is really, that is not loving myself, okay? To love ourselves, we love every part of ourselves as a union. And that's right. If somebody were going to come up and punch me in the chin, my eyes and every other part of my body is going to come to the defense of my chin. Because I love my chin and I don't want it to get hurt, So that's the same way it is with the body. And that's what scripture says. And Yeshua said that we are to love our neighbor, and that includes the bride, his body, as ourself. I love somebody on Facebook recently posted that means love them as you. Love them as you. Wow, what a beautiful revelation. You know, so I love my chin as me just as much as I like my eye as me. And my eye and my chin have totally different functions in my body, but I need them both. And I love them and I protect them and I hold them together in the union of my body. And that, my friend, is what we do as believers with one another. We enter into that union with one another. We abandonedly surrender into our Creator. We let His love, that love paradise, flow through us. And then we flow that love into one another. That's the veins that hold us together and give us life. So very beautiful. I wanted to share a little song I learned when I was a little girl. The first Bible that was ever given to me was a King James Bible. And much of the scripture that I memorized, and I did memorize a lot of scripture because I have been a believer since I was 3 years old. So a lot of the scripture is in the King James Version. So that's really a precious version to me because that is how I learned the scripture to begin with. Now, I've studied into the original languages. I look in all translations. I love them all. But that's fond to me too, because that is where I started. So I wanted to sing this little song that I learned as a little girl. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Beloved, let us love one another. 1 John 4, 7 and 8. I love that song. And I love you too. And Yahweh loves you. You are so special to Him and to me. And we need you. So, until next time, I send my love, friend. Shalom.